Hello, Resurrection. It is the last day of January, the 31st. Time marches on, doesn't it? It's Wednesday, and we are up and running on all cylinders at church tonight. Regular Bible study, regular family dinner, youth group, kids programs, all of that. We're ready to go tonight. I've just loved the turnout that we have had lately. That is. Sometimes we rival Sunday morning attendance at Wednesdays. Not really, but we sometimes have a good 50 or 60 people on Wednesday nights, which is always so much fun. We always have plenty to eat. It's always good. We always have a good time. Last week we started in the adult Wednesday night class, which is going very well. We began going through the essential 100 or so passages that every Christian ought to have in his arsenal. We went through the creation story on Sunday. I'm sorry, on Wednesday. Sometimes we'll go through 4 or 5 passages in a week, and sometimes we'll go through one or maybe even a half of one. We'll start with the fall tonight and maybe go through the flood. But these are the things that every Christian needs to know, needs to have in their back pocket. It's kind of Bible 101, but I promise you that it will not be too elementary for you, no matter where you are. You will learn something on Wednesday night, no matter if you are brand new to this or if you've been doing this your whole life. So it'll be good for you. And I think we had a really good time on Wednesday. Everybody was unusual, not unusually, but even more engaged than they usually are, which is always a good sign that we've hit on a good recipe. So that will be tonight. And y'all, it has been a good week and a half, 2 weeks at Resurrection. Now we all do still have things and people that we're praying for. We have worries on our mind, but I'm feeling very much like counting my blessings today, which is very important for a Christian to do. We have had a lot of sick folks who are doing really well right now. Patty Outlaw has had some serious surgery and is doing beautifully after her chemo has responded very well. Jonna Guthrie, after her heart transplant and after a complication with that, well, it wasn't a complication. She got sick afterwards, and she was very sick at one point, and she was back in church on Sunday looking great, absolutely great. We told God that when He healed her, we would spend the rest of our lives telling folks what He had done for her and what He had done for us. And by George, we will do that. And I want to be the first to say that the reason she is doing so well is because of God Almighty and His miraculous and healing power and the power of prayers that He answered for us. Uh, we had a big announcement on Sunday, which was a bittersweet announcement, and that is that our devoted and long suffering and long serving organist and choir master and music director here at the church, Dr. Hildegard Cox, is retiring after being with us for at least 15 years. She's been here longer than I have, and she saw us through some dark times in the parish. She has decided to retire, and she has done that with all the grace and dignity and professionalism that any church could ever ask for, pledging to stay with us long enough that we could do a really good, thorough search. And of course, it doesn't surprise anybody that Hildegard would be just exactly as loyal and loving as she always has been with us in this process. I stopped into the choir room after church on Sunday, and there were some tears of gratitude for her and of nostalgia. But we are happy for her. I do not intend, as far as I know, for us to see much less of Hildegard. She's family, and I certainly hope that she will remain here. She and Alan will remain here as a family. I'll bet you that you hear the sounds of Hildegard playing that organ coming out of the church during the week, hopefully as often as you ever have. But Hildegard Cox, to you, I give you my greatest thanks. I really do. You have been so good to this parish. Now I'm putting together a little search committee to find our next organist, choir master, music director. In the Episcopal Church, we kind of do that strangely. We look for somebody that does it all in one. And most people will have an organist and or a pianist and or a director of choirs and things like that. And in the Episcopal Church, we ask these poor folks to do it all. And so they are highly trained. They know what they're doing. They're particular sometimes, and I like that. I like them being particular. And we're going to do a good, thorough national search in order to try to find somebody great for this position. Now, I tell everybody when they come on at Resurrection, whether they're coming on as a layperson, they're coming on as staff, they're coming on as a volunteer. I tell everybody that your number one job at Resurrection, before you do anything else, is planting and reviving and regrowing the church. We are all church planters at Resurrection. I think we always will be. I think we're supposed to be. They used to call that tent making. And I am a tent maker priest, and we are looking for a tent maker musician as well. We need someone who will help us grow that program into what we want it to be in the future. We want to go ahead and start putting that in place. And so we need to do a really thorough search. I've got a great search committee. I'm still waiting on a yes or a no from one last person on that search committee, but you're going to be very pleased with the talent that we have on that search committee. I didn't reach out to them. They contacted me, actually, and that was the folks in the music department at St. George's to say, how can we help? I'm going to meet with them today so that they can give me the ins and outs of how their search process worked in the last few years. Those are good folks over there. Those music people have they've been mighty good to us, haven't they? Especially in the last 6 or 7 or 8 years, and I love them dearly. Jerry and Usug especially are they are fine Christian men, and they are fine musicians, and they surely have been good to us. So I'm counting my blessings at the Church of the Resurrection right now. It just seems that the portals of heaven have been opened up, and blessings continue to fall on us, whether we deserve them or not. Well, we know what we deserve, don't we? So you all, when you say your prayers tonight, when you say your prayers with your family, when you say your prayers by yourself, when you pray evening prayer tonight, when you pray your prayers lying in bed or just before you go to bed, or whenever you do that, thank God for what He has done for us. Tell your neighbors what God has done for us. Hey, let me tell you about this lady in our church who was so very ill, and God healed her. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors. Y'all bring somebody to church. That is how you grow churches. It's not in the programs that you put on. It's not in the advertising that you do. It's when you say to somebody, "I've got a great little church. Let me pick you up on Sunday, or let me save you a seat," and you bring somebody with you. You can tell that these folks at Resurrection love God and that they love each other the minute you walk through the door. And when you feel that, you are going to want to come back and to be part of that. Y'all keep doing what you're doing. I'm grateful for you, and I will thank God for you tonight in my prayers. But before that, I will see you tonight at our Wednesday night stuff that I'm enjoying very much right now, and I think you will too. I love you, and I'll see you then.